We should be. Yes, we are live.
Yes, we are live. Good morning, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. Yes.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. So, our guest is with us today already, Dr. Sanketh, and it's a wonderful day and nice to have you here. And as usual, we have 5 minutes to the start of the show. And let me just get everybody's comments. We have Dr. Nasser already with us. Hello. And Dr. Joss. Hello, sir. And oh, your friend also is here. Actually, our common friend,
Yes.
Dr. Ayappa. Hi. And Dr. Ishita. Yes, good morning. Dr. Varun. Wonderful. Hi. Dr. Manusmurti. Hi. And Dr. Niharika. Hi. And I am assuming, now let me take a minute and check that everything is fine everywhere. So you can chat with everyone in the minute that I check.
Oh, I'm a little shy, man.
A little late for that. Okay, Facebook seems cool. And let's see it on YouTube. Yeah, it's cool. And it is so weird to have to hear the same thing in at two different paces in 2 different years. God must have been really good at realizing this would be a problem and organized it so that we don't have
Mhm.
this thing of, having, yeah, of having to hear slightly different from each ear or see slightly
Mhm.
different from each eye. Oh, it would have been so confusing.
Exactly. We are
I guess
already
that's why he
confused beings, man.
created. I swear. Hello, Dr. Yoita.
Oh, Dr.
And
Yoita was my senior in Annamalai University.
oh, wonderful. Nice. And Dr. Shuchi. Okay, hi. I think Dr. Shuchi is here for the first time. And wonderful. Yes, she's saying hi to you too.
Hello, Shuchi.
So, yep, we have a few minutes. For all those who are joining us a little later, please don't pause on this. Just fast forward to the beginning of the program. This is our before the program slide chit chat and getting to say hi to everybody. And how much time we have? Okay, 2 minutes. Cool.
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Yes.
It's always the last few minutes when you get really nervous, man.
Don't get nervous. We also have Dr. Palak. Hi. This is okay, but when I had just started, you have no clue how nervous I used to be.
I can feel you, man.
It was so, besides the fact that I had to just come and speak, and before I started, if someone, I would say, even in the May of 2020, someone
Mhm.
had told me that you're going to be going on, live on video and talking to people, I would have told them, you are completely crazy. That's never happening.
I'm actually a
Yeah,
very
I'm not
gutsy
one
man.
of those people who is comfortable really in front of a camera, but I literally had to force myself.
And it requires a lot of guts, really. I mean, you're asking all the
Yeah.
questions. I'm only doing the answering, but still, I'm nervous.
Yeah, well, it's cool, and our audience is always mighty cool, and they will add
Yeah.
in their own beat. And I think everyone is very clear why we are here, so it's good.
Yes.
Everyone knows we are just,
Actually, actually, ma'am, the
yeah,
nervousness is not about the chit chat. The nervousness is about if my machine shouldn't conk. it's
yes. Well, that
yes.
has happened a few
Anyways,
times during the events, and we have managed. We will just, sort of free wheel in there until you come back.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, so don't worry about it. Yes, we also have Dr. Prasad. Okay, let me now
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
start. Start. Yes, we are at the start. Yes. So, right, we are now at the official beginnings. So, this is our life, being a dentist. But the interesting part is being a dentist is, well, it's something you decide when you are around 18 years or around that much age. And after that, it's pretty easy. I mean, the work is hard, no doubt, but there's not too many decisions to be made. You finish, you become a dentist. Maybe the biggest decision then is which branch of dentistry should I specialize in? Should I should I set up a clinic? Should I get into academics? Should I get into research? But really, not that much of difference. That is pretty much the way it is for most of us. But that story is not necessary for all dentists. And some dentist stories are very different. Today, we are meeting a dentist with a very different story. And we're going to take a walk with him through his professional journey so far. And I promise you it will be fascinating because I have been fascinated with whatever talks I have had with him so far. Hi, I'm Dr. Mandana Donahue, and you are with us on a Dentistry special Career Horizons live stream. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. As the name
Thank you so
implies,
much, man.
you're most welcome. As the name of the channel implies, this is all about oral pathology, but with a difference. It is a 360 view of oral pathology, which of course includes dentistry, related healthcare, and the very reason for our existence as patients. So please look us up wherever you are on social media and connect. We would love that. Because after all, what we do is not just about learning, it is about a partnership to promote dentistry and all its branches. And it's not possible to do it without all of you. So please do connect. Now we come to today's session. What do you think of a career in edtech? What is edtech? How do you set it up online? How difficult is it? I assume, like me, you have a whole lot of questions for our guest today. The hack dentistry guy. Yeah, he is a rare gem on many fronts. And I found him thanks to Dr. Ranganathan. So, if you're interested in digital or online platforms as an educational medium, you will love meeting our guest today, Dr. Sanketh SharathKumar. He actually, his CV says he's an oral pathologist, dentist, ethical hacker, blogger, and more. He is the founder and head of operations at Hack Dentistry, an enterprise aimed at making dentistry fun. And I believe he has achieved that with animations and easy to understand small chunks of information. But then wait, why am I trying to explain this when I can just show it?
The sound, man.
Why is the sound not there? Second. Not to worry. I also have it here.
Have you ever felt? Are you listening? Damn. 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 Uh. Yeah. Uh. Uh. Yeah. Uh.
That is a very catchy tune. Okay. It is actually very catchy. Yes, I couldn't help but sort of be shaking with it. Okay.
I
So
had a lot of fun, man. Actually, creating that video, I had so much fun. It took me around three to
must
four
have
days
been.
to create it. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. But it's a nice one. I really liked it. Yes.
Thank you so much,
I
man.
should learn from you how to do those animations. Yes. So now before we finish, and we have some this is a snapshot from your channel. I
Uh-huh.
just thought I will show some more videos that are currently there.
Oh, sure, man.
And yes, everybody, you can visit his channel anytime, and you can subscribe preferably, and also watch the content. And yes, and the giveaway before we forget. So you might have seen that today we have a giveaway, and well, it's 1 year subscription to the Hack Dentistry Oral Pathology Revision Ninja, which includes notes, videos, MCQs, lots of videos like that one, of course, and entry to the community area when you can have discussions. How you can get it? Well, sometime during the live stream today, we will run a sort of a draw. What you will have to do then is I will tell you what to type, and you will have to type something in the chat box. Yeah, oral pathology 360 to be exact. And but of course, don't worry about it right now. I'm only letting you know this so that in case you have any friends, any students, anyone you want to get on the show right now, just tell them to join. There's still time, and this is a good chance. So with that, let us stop this, and yes, let us start with our event. Right. Pretty excited. Okay.
Yes, man.
Right. So, my normal way of beginning is I ask everybody how they got into dentistry, but I'm going to forward a little bit. I'm going to
Hmm.
jump over that. We'll deal with that later. I
Oh,
want to ask you at the beginning.
okay,
Now,
man.
what made you decide you had already joined as a lecturer in a college,
Yes, man. Yes, man.
right? What did it take for you to be able to make that decision? And it's not easy to
Okay.
give up that very comfortable and I would say fairly well decided, easy life and
Hmm.
do something this hard.
Okay. It's just self introspection and self realization. And passion is overrated. Everyone says, it's all about passion. Follow your passion, this and that. Passion is overrated. Passion keeps changing every now and then. So when I was young, I wanted to be a doctor, but unfortunately, I couldn't get an MBBS seat, so I had to do dentistry. And let me tell you, I hated dentistry with all my life. I didn't like dentistry.
Okay.
I hated it, but I loved oral pathology. So what I did, okay, so I thought, okay, let me do oral pathology, MDS in oral pathology. So I did that. So Ramaya was heaven. 3 years I enjoyed life. I really enjoyed studying oral pathology. I didn't study oral pathology, ma'am. I lived oral pathology. So that's why it was fun. So then academia was everything for me. So I wanted to get into research, academia. That was everything. So once I got into ragas, then again there was some sort of frustration, some sort of I don't know what, man, some sort of wanting. So academia was not for me again. So again it changed. So I wanted to maybe start a business. I wanted to start an e-commerce company. So I did a lot of research for doing an e-commerce company. Again, e-commerce company was not for me. Then there was one colleague of mine in Ragas. So I'll be forever indebted to him. His name is Dr. Sudarshan. So he was the one who said, Sanket, you're a doctor. Why do you want to start an e-commerce company? Why do you start an edtech company? So that's how everything started, man. So I think we need to realize sometimes people get very unidimensional. So I'm a dentist, so I'm going to become an oral pathologist. Oral pathology is what I will do for the rest of my life. No, that's not how things work. Things keep changing, and we need to embrace change. So once we embrace change, we change our lives.
That is very true, but it is also very difficult. I can,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean,
Yes.
uh, not only just because this work is difficult, which it is, but when you're following something that has already been done thousands of times. I mean, there are about 1.6 million dentists in the world today,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
accounting for the ones before. So when you're doing something so specifically already done so many times, it's very easy to do it
Yes,
because
yes, ma'am.
there is a there's a good chance it's going to all work out, right?
Exactly.
uh, but doing something completely new, how did you deal with the initial difficulties that you might have had, you must have had, because I think there are a lot of youngsters there, and I would like them to know, not just the end, not just today's success. Today's success has had a path.
Yes.
I'd like you
Yes.
to share that
Okay.
path.
Okay. Ma'am, I don't know if you've heard of this author called Robert Greene. So I'm a big fanboy of Robert Greene. So I've read a lot of his books. So there's one of his books that I've been reading. It's called The Daily Laws. So, so this book called Daily Laws is a compilation of many of his books. So he talks about embracing your childhood dreams. So he says, as a child, we immediately know what we want and what we don't want. So we have no inhibitions as children. But when we start growing, we have our environment, our friends, our family, our parents, siblings telling us what to do and what not to do. So what we do is we tend to forget our dreams and follow someone else's dreams just because we want to validate them. So as a child, I still remember in 1994, my dad did not know what a computer was, but I told him I wanted multimedia. The poor man, he didn't know what multimedia was. He rather gave me internet. I still remember 1994, I typed yahoo.com, and the page coming very slowly, beep 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 beep.
Yes.
So my childhood dream, internet, computers. So that's what I'm doing right now. So basically, we need to embrace our childhood dreams. We need to go within. What we do is we go out. We go out. We ask people. I want. What do I want to become? Why do you ask people? You ask yourself. So we need to go within. We need to keep meditating. We need to keep making mistakes. We need to keep making as many mistakes as possible, as fast as possible, because a mistake is a feedback loop. So you make a mistake, you're going to get hurt. Yes, okay, so this is not what I'm supposed to do. You make another mistake, this is not what I'm supposed to do. You do something else, it clicks. Okay, so this is not a mistake. This is clicking. So I'm supposed to do this. So that's how we. So this requires a lot of discipline. It requires a lot of stress tolerance. So I've broken down a lot of times in these last 5 years, ma'am. I've broken down. In fact, I've been bedridden for 6 months in the last 5 years. So that is the amount of breakdown you can have, that can happen, but we need to embrace it. There have been so many times I've wanted to give up. I just wanted, ma'am, with the skills that I have right now, I've got numerous job offers. People have come to me and offered jobs. I did not want to take those job offers because deep inside I knew hack dentistry was going to be something. So it's all about stress tolerance, it's all about discipline, it's all about going within, and just keep at it, just keep at it, don't give up. Yes.
True. I think it's really just knowing that you can have tough times and it's okay to have them, and
Yes, ma'am.
it's not the
Exactly.
end if on one day you break down. You just sort of, pick yourself up, dust yourself
Exactly.
off, and start again.
Exactly. That's all,
Yes,
ma'am.
it's
Ma'am,
reset button.
when we were small, ma'am, see, I still remember when I was probably 6 years old, there was a running race competition. So immediately I fell down. I fell down. I got up and I started crying. This memory is very vivid. I just looked at my father. I was crying. I said, "Father, I fell down. I lost the race." Father said, "No, no, no. Just dust yourself. Go start running. Start running. Start running." I mean, these are small incidents that happen. To everyone. These incidents happen to everyone. It's just that we need to go within, recollect those memories, and apply them in real life, even as adults. Yes, it's just that
That's
as adults we have so much ego, man. We have so much vanity. We need to be humble. So what if I'm embarrassed? So what if I'm humiliated? That's okay. I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to do. That's all.
Yeah, that is the most important thing, is that we tend to have, yes, it's a lot of vanity. It's we are worried. It is vanity finally if we are worried about the fact that I could be embarrassed. People could be, it's like they say, if someone just falls in public,
Exactly.
and it happens to everyone. It happens even to
Yes, ma'am.
us. I mean, if I fall in public, one of the first things I would be looking is probably to see who was around and who saw it.
exactly.
You know,
Yes,
it's
yes,
it's it's
exactly.
it's just the way it is. Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to edtech. So what is
Okay.
edtech?
For me, edtech is basically just using technology to enhance the gold standard of teaching. So for me, I've always, and I still believe the gold standard is classroom teaching. So nothing can beat classroom teaching, nothing can beat personal teaching, because at the end of the day, teachers are all that matter. It's not technology. Technology is dime a dozen, man. There's the technology popping up everywhere. So it's the talented teachers that are scarce, right, man? So 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 we need to sort of learn technology. We need to embrace changes. We need to be uncomfortable, get comfortable with technology, and then use it to give value to students. At the end of the day, it's teachers that all matters.
That is true. What do you feel about? You must have had this, especially I would say even people of my generation that are not necessarily comfortable with technology.
Mhm,
I have had there have been as you know, I'm every week I'm looking for
mhm,
experts to bring on the channel. So
mhm,
I keep, and a few of the people I have approached and who
mhm,
are really good or
mhm,
seriously good have not come on the channel simply because they do not want to, they are not comfortable with the
mhm,
technology.
mhm,
Okay. So,
mhm.
I mean, now you have dealt with a lot of people in this line. You must have definitely met some who were a little older, younger,
Yes,
whatever. So,
yes.
what do you say to them? How do you think is the better way to start learning? You have had to learn so many things. So, what do you think?
It's
What
like
would be your suggestion?
yeah. So my suggestion. I remember my father when he was teaching me swimming. I was, I think, 7 years old, 7 or 8 years old. I was very scared. What he did, he just threw me in the he threw me in the pool. I was gasping for air. He said, "Nothing doing, nothing doing. I'm here. Don't worry, you're not going to die. Just do it." That's all, ma'am. We need to get uncomfortable, ma'am. There are so many times I've wanted to throw my laptop on the wall. I want to bang my head on the wall because I don't seem to understand something. We just need to keep at it. Sometimes what happens is we just need to take a break. Okay, I'm not able to understand this. Okay, something is wrong. There is something wrong. I'm not having the clarity right now. So let me just back off. Let me do something else that I like. We need to keep doing stuff that we like, man. So let me do something else that I like. So what happens is I start doing something I like, and then suddenly the idea pops up. Okay, so that is why that didn't work. So what I do is I immediately go back, take down a note, write a note. Okay, come back to this on this particular day at this particular time. You need to do that, man. We need to do that, because if we do not write it down, we are going to forget. So what I do is, the moment I have a spark, I write it down. I'll be taking a shower. What will happen is, ma'am, sometimes I get this spark in the shower. I just switch off the shower, come out of the bathroom with my towel, write it down, go back.
True.
Yes, yes,
I guess that's where Alexa works. You can recall
exactly.
it.
Yes.
Although I myself do not use any of those voice command things, I have this feeling that it's a little too much of giving too much away in terms of my privacy. And I know it's a
That
little
is there, ma'am.
silly, but
Yes,
well,
it's no, no. It's a, ma'am. It's not silly, ma'am. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. We cannot keep giving away our data always. It's a fine line.
that's true.
We need to know where to draw the line. Yes, and yeah, at the end of the day, everything is yin and yang.
Yes. So you also have ethical hacker on your profile. So
Yes,
what exactly is an ethical hacker?
actually, what happened was I was very frustrated during my initial years. I was not able to earn enough, so I didn't know what to do. So, like I said, I was banging my head on the wall. What am I doing wrong? Man, I'll be putting videos day in and day out. I'll not have views. I'll not have likes. I'll not have interaction. So frustrating, man. What I used to do was I started learning something else. So I liked computers. So I thought, okay, why not learn computers? So rather than reading software, I want to read software, but software is very difficult to understand. So sometimes we need to reverse engineer. So rather than, software is creating something, ethical hacking is breaking the software. So what I thought, let me understand how software can be broken so that I can learn how software can be created. So I started learning ethical hacking. So I started learning networking and cyber security concepts. So then what happened was, ma'am, sometimes So I think even I've been guilty of this, and many of uh, our colleagues in our community are also guilty of this. We are very theoretical. So I keep asking, so how is he? Oh, he's really good. He's very knowledgeable. No, theoretical knowledge is not going to help us. We need to be very practical. We need to know how we can retrieve whatever we need from memory in order to apply it in daily life. So that's what I did. So I started learning cybersecurity. I thought, why not apply it? So there are these companies in the US. There are two major companies. One is HackerOne and one is BugCrowd. So these are basically marketplaces that attract freelance hackers and companies. So these companies basically, ma'am, they want to be protected from bad actors, bad hackers who hack them. So what these companies do, they call people like me and they say, you come and hack our company, but do not do it for the bad. You hack our company and you give us a detailed report as to how you hacked it so that we can repair our system. So I took a break from hack dentistry and I did ethical hacking for 10 months. So I
Okay.
submitted around 26 to 30 reports. I mean, it was a very, I'm very novice, ma'am. I was not very, I was not a expert hacker or anything, but it was a great learning experience because it humbled me. I thought, I was thinking no end of myself. I'm doing hack dentistry, this and that and all that. So when I started doing ethical hacking is when I understood that I'm no one and that there are so many expert people who are doing wonderful work. So that was a very humbling experience. So it's something like becoming a monk, man. We need to become a monk, but a modern day monk. We need to keep humbling ourselves all the time whenever we feel arrogant. Yes.
True. And I think it also is a very good thing because one thing I know, and I think anybody who's ever taught, or actually, maybe teaching a class in the old style, when you walked into a class, you gave a lecture and you walked out, was different. But today, where it is recorded for eternity, let's
Mhm.
say you're having a YouTube talk or, you're writing a blog, it's
Mhm.
forever going to be there.
Exactly.
So, uh, I also find that the minute I'm about to write something or give a talk about something, I actually double check everything. And so
Mhm.
often I
Correct.
find when I'm trying to put it down, I find that there are gaps. There are things that I cannot really
Exactly.
explain very well. And that's where I realize, okay, there's a gap in my knowledge there. I need to check that out. Now, this is something I think that learning programming helps. Now, I have not learned programming, I'm not there at all. But I think that the logic that is required, say, for you to know how to hack something or how to create something, that logic is very essential.
Very true, ma'am. Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. You hit the nail on the head. Yes.
Yeah, because in the early 80s, I was learning how to manage, no, not sorry, not early 80s. Late 80s is more
Okay.
accurate. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
early 90s. So I was learning computers, and that time it was that typical, that C language, that you had to type
Exactly.
everything. Oh God, it was so difficult. But one thing I remembered
It's
was that
very
the teacher,
frustrating, ma'am.
it's
Yes.
very frustrating. I don't know what
It,
life would have been without Windows. But but the whole thing is, what I remember his saying is, when you are thinking about giving a command to a computer, the thing is, you cannot take anything for granted. It's
exactly.
not a human. To a human, you say, give me a glass of water. That person will figure out, I need to go to the source, pick up a glass, fill it up, and bring it back, right?
Exactly.
A
Exactly.
computer cannot do that.
Yes.
A computer needs to be specifically said, like, go in this way, it's so many steps to this glass, pick it up, fill it up
Very
from this
true.
source, this much water, then turn around and come back, like
Exactly.
every step of the way.
Yes, ma'am. That
So
is why it is very humbling. Yes.
yes.
Because you
And then
need
you
to keep
realize,
spoon
when you're
feeding. Yes.
trying to put text in place, when you're trying, say, I'm sure you must have faced this, especially, how well do you have to know the topic to be able to make those animations?
Actually, ma'am, when I started, ma'am, there is something called the art of learning. So I learned this from this particular person called Tim Ferriss. So I don't know if you've
Okay.
heard of him. So I read his book called The 4 Hour Work Week. So
Oh,
that's
yes, the
how I
4
was.
hour work week. Okay. Hmm.
Exactly. So that is how I was introduced to Tim Ferriss. But Tim Ferriss is more than his books. He's got a great blog, and there is one particular
Okay.
portion in his blog called the art of learning. So in my initial days when I was in Ragas, It used to take me 2 hours to go to ragas and 2 hours to come back from ragas. So 4 hours. So I used to sit in the bus and keep looking at his blog, keep reading his blog. So I started, ma'am, very unconsciously, we actually imbibe many things very unconsciously.
Yes.
I just kept reading it again and again and again and again. So I never knew I imbibed it. So this is how the art of learning works, ma'am. So Bruce Lee has said, I don't fear the man who knows 100 types, 1,000 types of kicks. I fear the man who knows just one type of kick, but he has practiced it 1,000 times. So basically, we need to know just enough to execute. So when I started animations, my animations were hopeless. They're bad. Now when I go back to the videos that I made for the first time, they're horrible. They're so embarrassing. I feel like removing them. So, but that's how it works, ma'am. Learning and doing go parallelly. We cannot learn everything and then do. We need to keep, ma'am. Actually speaking, that is how a post graduation works. That is how undergraduation works. We go to the clinic, we attend the patient, and we learn parallelly. So the first time I did a root canal to the patient, I never knew what root canal was. I didn't know. I just did the root canal, and then I go back and I read what mistakes did I make. So what did I do? What should I have done? What could I do better? So that's how it works, and we can apply that. That is why, ma'am, medicine and dentistry are great fields and great streams to be in. We are trained so well, but the problem is we as students forget it once we become lecturers, or vanity kicks in. Oh, I'm a doctor. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Vanity kicks in and we forget how to learn. I just basically applied what we did during my undergraduation, post graduation to various different fields. So when I started animation, I just knew how to. I used to basically trace, ma'am. I used to take a reference image, trace it, and create the animation. So initially, I never knew how to draw. I used to take hours together, ma'am. For a 5 minute video, I used to take 10 days to make a 5 minute video, 10 to 12 days. Now I can make a 5 minute video in 3 days. So learning and doing goes parallelly. So we need to first know how to make those strokes. I don't know how to make strokes. So I take a reference image, I make it a little transparent so that I can trace it. So that's how I learn the strokes. And then what I do is I go to other YouTube channels, other cartoon channels, and check out how they create these characters. What are the expressions? So if your eyebrows go up, they're surprised. If your eyebrows come inside, you're
Mm.
angry. If you smile, you have wrinkles here, so you're very happy. So we need to observe these minor subtle things. So once we observe that, your your sketches automatically become professional.
Right. You were going
Yes.
to share with us the platform you use for the animations. So which one is
Oh,
that?
yes. So one is Artrage. I have that open here. So let me just share
Yeah.
my
Yeah, yeah,
screen,
you
ma'am.
can share. You can share.
Yeah. So I'll share the entire screen for now, so that
Yeah, no problem.
yes. So is it visible,
Okay.
ma'am?
Yeah,
The
it is. It
program, is it
is.
visible? Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, so you have a color palette here. So other than that color palette, I have a whole range of palette here. So what I can do is I can choose any color here and use the most frequently used colors. I can just export them here. So these are some. This is called these are layers. I'll come to what layers are.
So
So
which
these are.
program is this?
This is called art rage, ma'am. Just 1 minute.
I notice you're using DuckDuckGo. Smart. Okay. Outrage.
So
Outrage.
this is,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Outrage.
This is the
Okay.
program I
Hmm.
use, ma'am. Yes. So this is a
Cool.
great program. It's an amazing software, man. There's nothing you can't do without. I mean, there's nothing you can't do with Artrage. You can do everything.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So this is the pen settings. So I can,
Hmm.
in fact, this is the pressure setting. So like for example, so okay. So now I increase the pressure. It becomes thicker. I increase the pressure
Okay.
here. It becomes way thicker. I can make it even thicker. So you see,
Okay.
ma'am. So
Yes.
what I can do is, so I'll make it 11, 10. I'll put this to 56. So now what I'll do is I'll first draw a character here. So this is where the layers come in, man. So
Yeah.
if I draw over it, I'm going to, this is going to happen. So what I do is I go
Yeah.
under it. So I come to
Correct.
the layer below it,
Below. Yeah.
and then if I want to highlight it, what I do is that way. Yes, man. So that's how this works. So it's an amazing tool, man. Yeah.
It is. It seems interesting.
Yes, yes, it is very interesting.
Cool. Oh, let me stop that share. Okay, you've stopped it. So, okay, first and foremost, let me now tell everyone if they want to share their questions, whatever questions you have for Sanket, please start sharing them. We will have the discussion as we go along, questions, comments, whatever. Now, okay, so we talked about edtech and okay, the other day I noticed, I mean, obviously
Mm.
it can't all be good. So I noticed
Mm.
you were having some discussion on Twitter, I think it was.
Hmm.
Yes, some comments about edtech. What is that fallout? Is there some sort of a fallout where
No, no, it was
you
not a
know?
fallout, man. So
Hmm,
it was a good Twitter friend. He was a good Twitter friend. So I was interacting with him, and it was very nice. So it so happens he has an edtech platform. So he basically is
okay,
an engineer. He's an engineer,
right.
and they were having a discussion saying that today education technology companies are pretty pathetic. So all they do is just make a video, come in front of the camera and talk. I mean, it's all just about making videos, meh, and this and that. So I told them it's not about Udemy is edtech, YouTube is edtech, Zoom is edtech, StreamYard is edtech. This is basically edtech, ma'am. So we are educating our audience. The audience today, they're coming here to derive value from this episode. So this is basically edtech. So do not put down edtech companies. Do not put down anyone. I mean, the way they spoke, it was
True.
not very nice, man. So I had to put it in a very diplomatic manner. So that is why I didn't want to call out names. So yeah.
No, that's what I wanted to just highlight, that is also there. That is also uh, another opinion, and of course, people are welcome to their opinions. Not everybody will
Yes.
agree,
Yes.
and the thing is that I think the fact of life is things are never going back to the way they were
Mm.
before.
Correct,
It's
man.
like they say, once you have opened the box, you can't really put things back. You just
Mm.
can't. You can't go back to how things were. It's not too long. It's 2 years, but you can't go back. This is life now. And I think the sooner everybody accepts it and get themselves equipped to handle it. I'm not suggesting everyone set up a hack dentistry like kind of thing. That's a full time job, a little beyond full time job. But on an everyday basis, I think it is time for everyone to get comfortable.
Mhm.
Anyone who is in education needs to now get themselves comfortable to actually do this. To come on a channel, take a class on Zoom, whatever is there. But the virtual is there.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
fact, I think very soon virtual will go to the next stage where we will actually have the true virtual images,
Oh, yes,
where
ma'am.
we can actually, all be sitting in a classroom or at least our virtual images. I'm actually waiting for that. That will be
Okay.
very interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
and I just want to add, ma'am, Twitter is also
Yeah,
another
sure.
active experiment. Twitter is also another active experiment. So initially, when I was in Twitter, I was very aggressive. So I have mellowed down now.
Yes.
I'm mellowing down.
Yes.
Everything is purposeful, ma'am. Everything is purposeful. Yes.
Yes. Somebody earlier said that Twitter is holding, what was that? 60% of the rage in the world. So I guess that happens.
Ma'am, I think that is an understatement. 60%. Ma'am, the rage on Twitter,
Yes.
you have no idea,
Yes,
ma'am. In
I
fact,
know.
my rage, I call mine rage. You should see the
There's
rage there.
nothing.
Yes, ma'am. We
Yes, I
don't want
have
to go
seen,
there.
we don't
Yes,
want to
we
go
don't
there.
want to go
Yes.
there. Yes.
I have seen some of those, but yeah, I stay off. And then the good point about all these algorithms that manage everything is they very rapidly identify where is your interest, and your news
Exactly.
feed stops to show you everything else.
That's what they want, ma'am. That's what they
That's
want.
what
They
they
want you
want.
to keep
Yeah.
fighting endlessly so that they make money
Yeah,
off
but
of
in
you.
this case, it works out well because I'm staying on dentistry and I'm staying on oral pathology.
Exactly.
It barely shows me anything. Because I open my Twitter
Exactly.
feed and there is histology, histopath pictures from top to bottom.
Exactly. It shows us what we
So,
want. So basically, Twitter is like a mirror, it's a reflection of who we are.
oh, we are,
Exactly.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So that way, it has its good points and also its bad points, of course. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
that's a part. So let's see what our audience has to say. So
Okay. So Ishita's
you
asking
are
Dr.
saying,
Sanket,
yeah,
sir, how can we join your team? Actually,
yeah.
Ishita,
Where is
I'm
that?
really, 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 want to make a bigger team. It's going to be really exciting.
Hmm,
Yes. So
right.
Dr. Ishita was asking when we can join your team. So the end of the day, I want to make a team. That's where happiness lies. It's very difficult being alone. But the thing is, to have a team, I need to develop myself first. I need to develop my company. So developing a team is not easy. So I have worked for my company for years together, without making much money. So how many people can work like that? And I cannot expect you to work for free, right? So I need to develop my company so that I can incentivize you to work for my company. So that's when I can create a good team. So wait patiently, Ishita. I'll definitely call you.
Yes. Okay. Dr. Amrita is asking, what tool do you use to draw? I think you just showed us.
Yes, art rage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And Dr. Prasad. Yes, for illustrations. How do you
Oh yes.
animate them? Any
Yes.
specific software? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I use the software called Filmora Wondershare. So let me just show that to you. Could I share the screen, ma'am?
Yes, please. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Right.
So this is the software editing software that I use to create animations. So creating animations is let's just say it's a very technical process, and it's beyond the scope of this particular show today. but I have ideas to create tutorial videos as to how I create these animations. So I have a blog. I have a personal blog. It's more than a blog. In fact, it is an email newsletter publication called 403. So this is my newsletter publication. That so I frequently write about life, I write about startups, I write about technology. So if you can watch this space, so I'll be putting in a lot more tutorial videos and notes and articles as to how I animate and do stuff like that. So right now I have around I think I have around 25 or so articles, 25 30 articles. So I've written on life, I've written on technology, especially cybersecurity, how the web works, bug bounty, email hygiene, and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'll be putting up stuff here. And if you want to know how to create sketch animations, so science filmmaking tips. So this is actually where I learned how to create an animation. So this guy is really good. He goes into depth as to how you can actually create animations. So let me not go into the details. So he goes into the details as to how he creates animations. So when I first saw this video, I didn't understand anything. I had to revisit this video numerous times, again and again and again and again and again and again, and only then I started to understand how he creates animations. So before that, I was using an animation software called VideoScribe. So for those who do not know how to create animations, you can use the software called VideoScribe. So this is I created my initial around 20 to 30 videos I created using VideoScribe. So VideoScribe is a fantastic tool. You don't even have to know how to, you don't have to know to create anything. They have stock images, they have template images, they have everything. All you have to do is drag and drop it on the screen and, time it accordingly, and you have your animations ready. So I created around 30 videos. So when I was creating these videos, what I was doing is when I was uploading them on YouTube, I was going through this particular channel here to learn how to animate. So since I had a backup of 30 videos, I had a lot of time in hand. So that time I used to utilize it properly, and I used to learn how to animate. So by the time I released my 30th video, I knew how to animate. So that is how I got into animation.
Right. So here is, in fact, we're talking about taking a class. So Dr.
Oh
Krishna is
yes.
asking you for a master class.
No, actually, I don't enroll you, Krishna. You enroll yourself. So if I'm going to if I'm going to start a master class, I'll definitely make an announcement on Facebook or YouTube. So you enroll yourself. I don't enroll you. That's how it works.
Yes. Okay. This was her saying good morning. Then before that, we had Dr. Vignesh, Dr. Nandini, yes, Dr. Arpan. So these were the people we missed in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning
Uh-huh.
who joined a few minutes. So Dr. Madhushankari, hi. Dr. Suman. Okay. This was someone who felt bad that you left your teaching post.
Okay, you left our college in a few months after I joined, but I'm glad and happy what you know. See, Shruti, you shouldn't be disheartened. You should understand. See, being in Ragas, I can only train 100 students at a time. But right now, I'm able to teach thousands of students at a time. See, the internet can scale, a college cannot scale. So if I'm in an institution, I'm bound by the institution, right? So so the institution says I'm able to teach only 100 students. So I'm able to teach only 100 students. But once I come out of the institution, I create an institution of my own. Hack Dentistry is my institution now. So I can teach thousands of students. So
That
please
is
don't be
true.
disheartened. Yes.
Well, now you can watch him anytime.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
actually, they can't watch you. They can watch your animations. They can
Exactly.
watch your, what should I say? What would that shape be? Your,
Yes, yes, the mascot, the bulb.
yeah, come on,
It's the
yes.
mas. See, the mascot is actually essentially a reflection of who I am.
Yes. Okay. So, um, okay, I'll tell you that later. So there was some cartoon I remembered from childhood, but okay. Dr. Shruti, yes, it's great to find you here too. Yes. And I hope you will now stay in touch. Dr. Ishita. Yes, your videos. That's
Thank you,
your
ma'am.
videos,
Thank you
by the
so
way, are
much.
just super. Yeah, okay. All right. And Dr. Varun. He also loves animation videos. Just
That is so
amazing.
nice. I'm so
Yes.
glad.
So I think I have covered everybody. Yes. Okay. Now let's go back down and see if we got anything new. Yes. So, okay. Now, what next? So, what is next for you? What is next for hack dentistry?
What is next for hack dentistry? Scaling. So I need to scale, ma'am. I need to create a team, make a bigger team, and create a lot more value than I can create today. So that is what I'm seeing for the next 5 years. So the first 5 years was building. So we need to take the time to build ourselves. So we cannot hurry. We can't be hasty. If I become hasty, the quality drops. Always, for me ma'am, quality comes before quantity. So it's okay if I'm going to take 10 days to make one video. Now ma'am, if you actually, when I started in 2016 December 1st was the first video that I uploaded. So at that time, when I used to type dentistry on YouTube, there was hardly any channel. There was one channel called Dr. Teeth, and Dr. Teeth is still on YouTube even today. I forget the name of, she has done her BDS. She's not done MDS. She's doing an amazing job. She's still at it. So she's also an inspiration. So I never saw her as a competition. I always seen her as an inspiration. She's only finished her BDS, and she's doing a great job. She has a team. So there was
That's
only
great.
Dr. Tooth. Yes, there was only Dr. Teeth that time. But now I go to YouTube, so many dentists have sprung up and they create YouTube videos. What people don't understand is sometimes we just keep dissipating our energy. We need to conserve our energy to to focus it where we need to. So that is why we need to take time to build ourselves. So I've taken 5 years to build hack dentistry. It's been a very extremely slow process, but all for a good reason. So next would be scaling, ma'am. Yes, to make it bigger.
Sure.
Yes.
So we have one question from Dr. Nasser. Can you apply histology to this technique?
Uh,
I
Okay,
think
so to
a
be
lot
very
of your
specific, I think, yeah, I've drawn a lot of histopathology diagrams. In fact, this technique is extremely wonderful to teach histology to dental students. So I have, in
yes.
fact, I have an oral histology course where I take a deep dive and create animations to even histopathology. Histopathology also I keep drawing, and it's been a lot easier for students. I've got a lot of feedback, and most of the feedback has been very constructive. And students have told that they understand histopathology like a breeze. So when I was a third year student, I could never imagine how a bone looks. Okay, this is bone in under the microscope. It didn't make sense. What is this? It didn't make sense. I used to look at the crack in the glass. Okay, there's a crack in the glass here, so this has to be
That I believe was the way most students actually, and I have to say this, even my own students have done it. Okay, even
yes,
when I was an undergraduate student, I've done it. I'm not going to lie. Even I have done it.
yes.
So look
So
at the outside of the glass slide more than the actual look through the microscope. Yeah, it's happened.
especially bone, ma'am, lamellae and all that. I mean, students cannot fathom what a lamella is. What is a lamella? I I understood what a lamella is only after I finished MDS, ma'am. You can't believe. I mean, it's unbelievable. So it's like we
It's
need to
it's
keep.
also another one is development of tooth
Oh
that
my God!
really gets students. That is like absolutely, it's
Absolutely.
it's something You cannot understand unless you begin to think of it in three dimensions, and it's so difficult to
Exactly, ma'am.
imagine three dimensions.
And I don't blame teachers, man, because teachers. I mean, it's like really. I mean, it's very sad. I mean, how can teachers teach students in 3D when there was no internet? So it's very sad. I don't blame the teachers. So amylogenesis, my God, ma'am, amylogenesis. I, I have read amylogenesis 100 times. I sat in my viva. I tried to recollect amylogenesis. I was praying my examiner does not ask me what amylogenesis is because I forgot.
Did they
At that
ask
moment, I
you
forgot.
amelogenesis?
No, they didn't ask me. Thank God.
Okay. Thank God. Normally, because when I see the universe as when you are seriously thinking of something, yeah, even if you're thinking, don't, somehow the universe does not register the don't.
That yes,
The
exactly.
thing happens.
Yes, yes. So I was lucky that time, ma'am.
So you were lucky. So you were lucky.
Yes.
Okay. Professor Hilly has something. It requires a mind shift to open the universities to use blended learning,
Oh, yes, sir. I
of which
totally agree,
components
sir.
are in the public domain. Yes,
Yes, sir.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So totally right.
Totally.
Yes.
Yes.
And Dr. Prasad. Thanks a lot for answering in detail, Dr. Sankit. I'm someone who loves oral pathology and computer tech equally.
Oh, my
I make
pleasure. My
use of your
pleasure, sir.
videos in my lecture classes. Wow,
Please,
that is
please do. My
interesting.
pleasure. My pleasure. That's the whole purpose, sir. That's the whole purpose.
Yes, and yes, that is
Thank you so much.
it is great when when your work is being used somewhere. It is
Yes, it validates
that's
me.
the
I mean,
final purpose. That's the final
exactly,
purpose. Yes.
exactly. And sometimes, ma'am, it's very funny. I mean, this is the mission. This is the purpose for people to use my videos and give value to students. But what happens is sometimes people start feeling insecure. Oh, how are you using my videos? You can't use my videos. Only I can use my videos. So it's very funny. I laugh at
That's
those
true.
people. Yes, sometimes.
Yes. But one thing I have realized, I think more and more in this, now I've had so many people on the channel, on the Career Horizon series, and each has come and very openly and happily shared, what they're
Exactly,
doing
ma'am.
with a hope that
Yes,
others will do it too. There has been no thought that I'm creating competition, whether it was Dr.
exactly.
Gargi, whether it was Dr. Shruti who was telling us about a research career.
That
So
is so
many, so many
nice.
have been on the channel, and it is really amazing. So
Yes, ma'am.
this is what I like, that everyone gets here and is so open to sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
While we have Dr. Ayappa on our in among
Uh-huh.
our audience, who actually is in the edtech situation himself in a lot of ways, but supports a lot of others,
Exactly, ma'am.
doing their work.
Exactly.
So it's that's
Yes,
how it
yes.
works. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Like Dr. Prasad is saying, with due credit to you, of course. So that is the fine line, ma'am. So that is why he's a nice man. So he
yes,
gives credit where it's due. So no plagiarism. So
absolutely.
as long as that is there,
Yes,
yes,
totally.
yes.
Yes, that is very impressive work.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, okay, this is
Thank you
yes.
so much. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I think it's time we went and tried our giveaway. Okay,
Sure,
now
ma'am.
everybody have a little patience with me. This is the first time I'm doing this, so it will work. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to type in um, hashtag oral pathology 360. And let me put it in the comments there first. 1 second. Let me put it as a banner so that. Oh God. Okay, 1 second. I have too many. This is what happens when you have two different computers in front of you.
You are an inspiration, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. You need to type that into the comment wherever you are, whether you are on Facebook or on YouTube. I will give you a few seconds to type that out, and then I shall run the whole thing. This should be interesting. Okay. In the meanwhile, we have someone with us while you all get down to typing. Remember, it has to be in the chat either on YouTube or on Facebook where you are on the live chat. And what you are getting is a 1 year subscription to the oral pathology. Yeah, why don't you say what it is? Okay.
A 1 year subscription to the Revision Ninja Oral Pathology Bundle. Yeah.
Yes.
I call it Revision Ninja.
I know, I noticed that. Yes, the results are coming in. Cool. I think we can
That
run
is
there.
nice. That is nice.
Yes, yes. So, okay, I have to first. Okay, now let's see. Share. Okay, let's go with the draw. Is this being shared? No, not yet, no? Okay, 1 second. Why is it? Oh, seriously. Right, now it's being shared. Okay. Okay, here we go, folks. Let's see who gets it.
Okay.
Why is my name there? Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, because I typed it. Okay, Dr.
Okay,
Priyanka. Wow,
Priyanka Banushali.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, okay. That was interesting.
So it's one thing to give a giveaway, ma'am. It's another for the winner to be satisfied with the giveaway. So hopefully Priyanka Banushali is satisfied with uh, the oral pathology revision ninja bundle. Yeah.
Definitely. And hopefully,
Yes.
yes. She will let us know,
Hopefully.
I'm sure. So,
Yes.
Priyanka, you get in touch with me and I will tell you. He has given me the whole instructions of how you should access that and I will share it with you. Cool. So, this was fun. Not bad. I actually liked it. Okay, cool.
Nice,
We
ma'am.
should do this more often.
Yeah, actually. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's just so much fun. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. So let me see. Before we went on to this, we had a comment. Dr. Aisha, watching from Papua New
Papua New
Guinea.
Guinea.
Wow,
So
that's nice. So,
that is
person
awesome.
who loves oral pathology as well as technology. See, you have attracted all the
Thank you
right
so much.
combination of people.
Thank you
Good.
so much, Aisha
Cool.
Lapun. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for sharing that and for being here.
And Dr. Priyanka
Okay.
says she's more than satisfied. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Yes, absolutely. And I hope you will thoroughly enjoy your subscription and all the videos. And yes, so, okay. Anything else anyone wants to ask? Yes, anyone wants to ask our guest, Dr. Sanketh? Anything you want to ask him that would be helpful to you? Actually, I'm going to ask you one thing.
Sure, man.
So, how do you get yourself, forget the animation part,
Okay.
animation aside, okay?
Okay.
To really be able to put something down, you have to so thoroughly understand it.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
So, and cut it because I have noticed your videos are small, they're short.
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
not an hour long video, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So, how do you cut it down to just the right amount of information that still gives the right amount of explanation? Because sometimes as you cut down things, you tend to lose the meaning, the clarity is lost.
Yes, ma'am.
So how
Yes.
do you do that?
Yes, ma'am. So there are two things, ma'am. So first thing is intense research. I read everything from research articles, systematic reviews, to naval textbook, to even the notes, even the bare minimum notes that students read. So I go through that also. So why do I go through all this? We need to be very multidimensional, ma'am. We need to know what people like. Students like bare minimum notes because all they want is to pass exams. But sometimes
Yes, sadly.
what students want is not necessarily what they need. So that is
Yes.
they are totally different things. So students want notes, but they need to be taught well. So I understood that during my post graduation, that understanding the fundamentals is what really matters. So once I understood the fundamentals, like for example, ma'am, I was a lot into immunology. I was passionate about immunology. I used to just, during my first year, ma'am, I was only in the first year, just starting. I remember my HOD used to tell me, go and find out dissertation topics. I'll not find out dissertation topics. I'll go sit in the library, pick an immunology book, and start reading it from top to bottom. But what that did was, ma'am, my immunology fundamentals were so strong. I remember my colleagues discussing about pathogenesis of lichen planus. They were saying, I don't seem to understand what's happening. I never read the pathogenesis of lichen planus. I used to just recite what happens. I used to say, this comes here, this comes here. So because of that, this goes here, this goes here. And that is why lichen planus manifests. So my colleagues were dumbfounded. They were like, you haven't read how lichen planus works. How do you know how lichen planus works? I know how lichen planus works because I know the fundamentals. So the understanding of this. So I want the students to know the fundamentals, but I somehow break it down and make it bare minimum notes. So it becomes a lot easier for students to read and understand. So it's like, ma'am, have you heard of this Wiley series called Dash for Dummies? Networking for dummies, computing for dummies, everything for
Yes,
dummies.
yes.
So
Yeah,
that was
correct.
my inspiration. That was my inspiration. So it's basically oral pathology for dummies. So you have the best of oral pathology, but for dummies. Yeah. So I'm not saying students are dummies, but
No,
I mean,
I
it's
get
just
it.
an
I know.
analogy. Yes, yes.
It's just an analogy. Yeah,
So
none of
that's how
those books
I,
are actually for dummies. Yes.
exactly. So that's how I
Yes,
started
it's
breaking it
a
down.
yes, it's a
Yes,
very well read series of books and quite yeah. It just says that it's
exactly.
very simplified. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I think we are at the end. Yes, Dr.
Ah,
Sudarshan says
Dr.
hard work
Sudarshan,
pays.
he's my colleague who told me to start an edtech company. So I was telling him I'll
Okay.
start an e-commerce company. He said, don't start an e-commerce company. Why don't you start an edtech company? Why don't you be the next edX? So
Yes, true.
it was
So
that
we got to
way,
all
man.
thank Dr. Sudarshan for not
Yes.
letting you go into e-commerce.
100%, man.
That
100%.
would
It was
have been
Dr.
a
Sudarshan.
gain for e-commerce, but it would have been a loss for dentistry. So we are happy you stayed on in
Yes,
dentistry. Yes.
yes.
Okay. So cool. So let's wrap this up. I don't see many
Sure.
more things happening. So let me
Okay.
now. I have to do one more share. Do you have any going away message for everybody?
I think you pretty much asked the right questions, ma'am. So I have nothing
Okay,
else to
cool.
add. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Who is your favorite author that you would suggest everyone to read?
Robert Greene.
Robert Greene. Okay,
Yes.
cool. In your blogs, you should start sharing the books you read,
Oh,
or do you
yes,
share them
yes.
already?
No, that's the plan for 2022. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, good. So, yes, good job. Dr. Yoita, breaking down to building up. Good job, yes.
Dr. Yoita, it's Dr. Sanketh, not Keith. Arvi?
Anglicized
Okay.
your name a little bit. I have
Okay.
been seeing him. Okay, Dr. Sudarshan says, I've been seeing him from the very beginning. His hard work has finally paid.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much,
that's
Dr. Sudarshan. Thank you so much.
yes, Dr. Mayula, great job. Cool.
Thank you.
So it's been a good day and it's been nice having everybody. And it is now time to. What? So this was what we
So
already gave away.
thank you so much for the audience for being such a supportive audience. And ma'am, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
Ma'am, Arnold Schwarzenegger has said, there is no self-made man.
Yes.
Everyone needs the support of everyone around them. So if
That
I'm
is.
here, yes, it is because of wonderful people like you, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much. So there is a thank you from me in your certificate. There's also
Thank you
been a thank
so
you
much,
from
ma'am.
all the audience.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
And
you,
Dr.
Dr.
Josh, who also
Head.
says,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Dr. Ashutosh. He's a good friend of mine, ma'am. Yeah.
Should be. He knows what you have gone through. Yes. And
Yes.
Dr. Prasad says all the
Thank you.
best.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
And that is
Thank you
true.
so
That's
much.
our wish for us. I think our combined wish for us that you already are on a global scale because you have people from over 42 countries, I think,
Yes, yes,
um,
ma'am. Yes.
but a larger global scale, let's put it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, you are most welcome. Yes, and thank you. So that is your certificate. I will, of course, send it to
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am.
Send you a PDF also. It's just a keepsake. I know it's just something you can keep
No, no,
from.
I'm going to treasure this, ma'am. This has been a wonderful morning. I'm going to treasure this for the rest of my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. That is very,
Yes.
very sweet. So, we also have to wrap up with a little bit of news of what is happening on this coming Friday. And please, everybody, make a note. It is Friday, this Friday,
Oh,
21st. It
Friday.
is,
Okay.
this is, yes, this is once a month Friday beyond borders, which is not on a Tuesday, obviously. It's a Friday. So, make a note. It's at 5 o'clock in the evening, our time, and of course, it is on the same channel. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. You need to join. Dr. Geronimo has done extensive work on
Hmm.
chronic inflammation, mechanical chronic inflammation, and oral
Awesome.
cancer. So he's going to
Thank
share
you.
all that with us.
It's
Right.
awesome.
So
Yes.
I do hope I will see everybody. Please share it with others too. And thank you all for
Thank
supporting
you.
us, for being here. And yes, it's always wonderful that we have guests. Thank you, Dr. Sanket, and
Thank
thank
you.
you,
Thank you, ma'am.
everybody.
The honor is
Yes,
mine. Thank you so much. Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
And
So are
yes,
we
let's
leaving,
say
ma'am?
bye.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bye.
yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, bye, bye. Yes. Bye, everyone. See you on Friday. Have a great week till then.